Hey everybody, welcome back to Unicorn Princess Got 'em. I'm Onikage, and in this video for the Long Dark, I am going to go over forging, as well as a few tips about the workbench. And then once we've done the forging, I'm going to show you some stuff with the frozen deer carcasses. Because last time I showed you about like harvesting the rabbits inside, so I figure I should show you like what you can do with like the frozen deer carcasses and the options that you have. So for forging, you have to have a heavy hammer. Now you can find the heavy hammer in a few different spots. And then there's about 3 places in the game that there's a forge. There's in the Forlorn Muskeg, which is where I am, in the Spence family homestead. And then in the railroad area, there is a garage like car shop thing that you have, and then I think there's also one in like Desolation Point. But like this is like one of the easier ones to get to. And one of the reasons that makes it good is that it's technically outside, even though you're in like a shelter area. And that's super important for Misery and for Interloper because if you spend too much time inside, you get cabin fever. And then if you get cabin fever, you can't sleep indoors. And then sleeping outdoors is, usually pretty bad unless you can find a cave. And making things like the hatchet and the knife can take several in-game hours, which isn't too bad. But when you're using something like the workbench here, when it's time to make things like deerskin boots and deerskin pants, you can see that it takes like half a day. Now you can break that up, you don't have to do all of it at once, which is nice, but still just the amount of time it takes. Now, as you can see, because of my distance from the forge, the temperature is actually dropping. But you can build like a makeshift fire right here, and then you should be good to go. Just keep it burning while you're, working there. And as you break it up, into like sections of crafting, you can re-add your fuel and stuff. So for the forge, you have to get it to 150. Right now, it's at 74. Now, luckily, at this particular place, there's like these planks, and then also there are some boxes in here. There's even a safe, which is kind of cool, but I'll probably get to that a little bit later. And so you can break these down into reclaimed wood. And the reason that's important is that only coal will get at a certain temperature. But you have to you have to get it up really high without using coal first, because as soon as you add coal, you can't raise the temperature with wood any longer. So if you add coal at the beginning, you can only raise the temperature with coal. Now it's about 20 Celsius per coal, and we need to get it to 150. So all we need to do is just throw 4 of them in there, and we can do that all at once and just watch the temperature go up. And then while it does that, because I have the hacksaw, we're going to go over here and, yeah, an hour and 30 minutes. Make sure, yep, I'm still in the warm area. We're going to break that down to get a few more scrap metal. There we go. Now the good thing is that every piece of coal increases the duration for about an hour, so you've got plenty of time. Now, one thing you will see in this game is that the estimated times are kind of misleading when it comes to how long the furnace will, or any fire will actually burn for. So this essentially has 8 hours. So now that it's hot enough, we can do this. Improvised knife, okay? Improvised knife takes 3 hours. So when we're done making this, we should only have about 5 hours, or actually less than 5 hours of forge time remaining. Now this one you can't break up, you have to do it all at once. So let's go ahead and do that. And as you can see, your water and stuff like decreases pretty quickly in this process. But okay, there we go. So now we look, and over 6 hours remaining. So again, the burn time is a little bit strange there. Now we also need the hatchet, but we need one more piece of cloth. That's not a problem because socks, and this is only 0.2 Celsius, so we might as well go ahead and harvest this for our one cloth. There we go. Okay, and actually, because of the amount of water we're losing, we're going to drink water before we do the next part. Oh, also, one of the great things about this area is the abundance of cattail stalks. They've got a decent amount of vitamin C. It's 150 calories, and they only weigh 0.05 kilograms each, so I've got 48, and that's enough for like 3 days, essentially. When you factor in other stuff that you can use as well, of course. So now we've got 6 hours left, and we are going to go ahead and do the hatchet now that we've drank some water. So we'll give this a second here. Food is getting a little low, so we're going to go ahead and eat once this is done. Okay. Now we are going to want to make some arrowheads. And actually, just for the sake of time on this video, I am going to not do the arrowheads and not like completely fill up on food. But yeah, that was 4 hours, but yet I only lost 2 hours off the furnace. So you see how like the burning time and the time it crafts things is a little bit different. So this is going to be some pretty cold weather out here, negative 25. So I'm not going to be out here very long, but I do know that there's a deer carcass over here. So I'm just going to go up to that just so that you can see the harvest time differences now that we have 3 cutting utensils. So for the hide, it takes an hour for the hacksaw, 40 minutes for the knife, and an hour for the hatchet. However, because it's frozen, the knife will take 15 minutes, the hatchet takes 8 minutes, but the hacksaw, because it's frozen and it's hard, only takes 5 minutes. And 5 minutes isn't too bad even in this sort of weather. I think there's another one over there. Yeah, there's another one over there. Oh, and since we're going to be making arrowheads, anytime you see corpses, whether it's human, deer, whatever, always look for these feathers because you have to get feathers if you're going to be crafting arrows. Like, you know, it's just it's a requirement. And it takes a few feathers per arrow, so they weigh nothing, so you might as well grab them anytime you see them anyway. But yeah, definitely stock up on those. So what I'm going to do is I am going to finish my crafting, and then in the next video, what I'm actually going to show you is we're going to be making our way back to where I am in Mystery Lake. And then you'll get to see sort of how I deal with maneuvering around wolves and also avoid falling in through the ice. So I hope you found this educational. Oh, and a special thank you to everybody who's liking the Skyrim shorts that I've been making. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on that, and that is greatly appreciated. But yeah, we'll see you next time on Unicorn Princess Gotham. Everybody takes care and stay safe.